I'm Lucy from Sew Essential, and today I'm giving you a roundup of the 10 best-selling sewing patterns of 2025, plus gorgeous fabrics you could sew them up in. Let's get started. So I always love pulling these videos together at the end of the year because there's always a few surprises in here, but there's also a reminder of some of those gorgeous patterns that I loved when they came out and just haven't had time to make. So it's always great to have those brought back to the forefront again. One such pattern that I am determined to get round to making is McCall's 8553. It was a super popular pattern this year. People were absolutely loving it in the spring. It's got a little collar, an exposed zip at the front, 2 patch pockets on the bodice, and then it's got a gathered skirt which you can make probably to about knee length or midi length. There's the option for a short sleeve with a lovely little gather at the sleeve head, which I always think is really forgiving and means that easing in is a little bit easier if you've got gathers there. And then it's gathered into a sort of relatively deep cuff at the end of the short sleeve, or you can make a long sleeve version, and I think the long sleeve version has got a cuff the same as well. But it was just such a lovely laid back chic day wear dress, perfect sewn up in chambray and light denims and things like that for spring. But actually I really think this makes a great dress for autumn winter as well, and my choice of fabric for this one would be our beautiful baby needle cord fabric. We've got this gorgeous sort of rust brick red colour which I absolutely love, but we also have a lovely caramelly colour and we have a navy as well, so that is my choice for that one. But that firmly remains on my to sew list, and I know lots and lots and lots of you have made it, so yeah, that's the first one. Next up is the Rose Pants pattern, which I sewed this year and you went crazy for. Vicky in the office has made 2 versions as well. She's sewn them up in our gabardine fabric and also a lovely wool check fabric, which I'm going to show you in the video today. And then I sewed them up in a pinstripe, which sadly we sold and sold and sold and then couldn't get any more. I'm going to put links to any of the patterns that I've made below for you, because obviously you're not getting a full length view of this, but you just get the idea of this Rose Pants pattern from the bit you've seen, and yeah, we'll put some links below to any of the patterns I've made so you can find the full review, but also the links to the patterns and the fabrics will be below as well. But this pattern everyone has gone crazy for, everybody loves. Vicky's made it twice. I want a million pairs in my wardrobe as well. It's got a flat waistband at the front, an elasticated waistband at the back, so it's super easy to fit, super comfortable to wear, but it's also got pleats or gathers at the front, so you can create quite a sort of smart finish look. And Vicky actually created a little crease down the front of her trousers in the gabardine just to give it that more tailored look, but they're a lovely wide leg trouser as well, so they are really, really easy to fit. And if you're scared, I think a lot of people wear trousers more than they wear dresses or skirts, but they're a bit scared of sewing them because there's a lot more to fitting trousers if you make a really tailored pair. But actually if you make a loose fitting pair, which is super on trend now anyway and is the style that everybody's wearing, if you make a nice loose fitting pair and it's got elastic at the waistband, actually it's like sewing a pair of pyjama bottoms. It's not far off, you know, it's not a lot more complicated that, and the fitting isn't much more complicated than that either. You've only got to make sure they fit on your waist and your hips and you're away. So I love that pattern, highly recommend that one. And that is pattern number 2 from our best sellers. Oh, and the fabric, I've shown you the pinstripe that we've sold out of, but the beautiful gabardine that Vicky used is this lovely sort of olivey green colour, and it's a lovely drapey fabric, but it's got a really nice weight to it, perfect for sort of autumn winter, and we've got it in several colours as well, so definitely check that one out. I recommended that to one of our lovely customers today for some trousers. And then I'll show you the mulberry check later in the video because we've got that up there for a different pattern. Next up is Simplicity 9889. So this has been, I think this might have been in last year's top 10 as well, and it's one of those sort of surprising ones. It's just a simple, cute blouse pattern. It's got a fold over sort of curved collar. It's got a seam running from the shoulder seam right down to the hem on either side across the bust, almost like a princess seam. It has got a waist seam as well though, and then it's got a button down front, and you've got options for short sleeves, what looks like a 3/4 sleeve, and then a full length sleeve as well. And I think people probably just like the panelling on this one. It's just a slight variation on like a classic shirt or blouse. And then at the back, you've got that waist seam continued round, but then you've got options for the longer length or shorter length with, it looks like it's got a vent in the back. So yeah, quite a few options to play around with, but just a really nice, simple, easy to wear blouse. And I thought that would look lovely sewn up in our cotton Ramie fabric, which has got a lovely sort of slubby texture to it. It's a nice weight for blouses and things. You could use it for dresses and skirts and trousers as well. You might need to line it for those though, but certainly for a blouse you would be okay. And we've got it in this gorgeous red colour, which I thought was really fun. But then we've also got a lovely pomegranate colour, a lovely teal colour, a really nice khaki olivey green colour. I think we've got black and white. We've got all those classic colours that you might want. So that was my choice for that one. The next one is McCall's 8557. Again, everybody went crazy for this when it came out. It's got several different options: sleeveless, short sleeve, straight sleeve, and a short sleeve that's gathered into elastic at the hem and like a puff sleeve. And then there's the option for a classic long shirt sleeve with a cuff. And then at the front, it's fastened with ties, and it's got a cute little peplum hem, which is gathered, and just a style that has been around for a few seasons now and has been incredibly popular. And I thought this one would look fantastic, the short puff sleeve version, sewn up in this gorgeous emerald green and black animal print fabric, paired with black jeans or indigo jeans perhaps for a night out. I thought that would look really, really lovely, very sort of mint velvet. I think that one would look in that fabric. So that was my choice for that one. And then next up we have New Look 6751, which is, I think has been on the list before, maybe. If not, I just remember this being a really popular pattern. It's a lovely maxi dress jersey knit pattern. So nice and simple to sew. Two different versions. One is a sleeveless crew neck version. Both of them have got a waistband, and then the fabric's gathered into that above and below the waistband. And then the other version is a crossover wrap sort of top with a grown-on sleeve that's lovely and wide, so no fitting issues in the armhole area. Very, very simple to sew, no setting in sleeves or anything like that, no fastenings. It's got a little bit of gathering at the shoulder seam on the grown-on sleeves, just for a little bit of detail there, but a super simple sew and something that would be lovely and comfortable and easy to wear. Great for summer holidays, but also, again, it's all about your fabric choice. And I have chosen more wintry fabrics for this roundup because we are still in that winter season. But I thought one of our gorgeous jersey fabrics would look great sewn up into that pattern. We've got this one in two different colourways. We've got this lovely red and pink, or it's more like that burgundy colour that's been really popular this year, and pink. And then there's one that's got like blues and like a grey sort of colourway in it, but then we've got lots of other designs as well. So do jump onto our website and have a look at all the fabrics. We can always send you samples if you want a closer look and a touch and a feel as well. And then the next pattern has definitely been on the list before, possibly twice. It's the Lois dress by Tessuti. I've made this before. I'll try and remember to put the review fit down below for you. But it is just an absolutely adorable dress. I love it. A lot of people are concerned about it being quite low at the front. I've had quite a few people over the years email me about that and say, oh, is it going to look really low at the front? Can I adjust it? And somebody has created a blog post online about how you can raise it at the front if that's one of your concerns. And I could easily find that again if anybody needed it. But it's got a beautiful V-neck at the front. It's got an empire line under the bust. There are bust darts that come up from that empire line. Again, a lovely grown on sleeve, so nice and easy, nice and loose fitting, no setting in sleeves. That grown on sleeve is finished with a cuff, so it's got like that modern contemporary feel to it. And then it's got a beautiful gradual A-line skirt that hits at about the midi length. But what I really love about this pattern, one of the things that really sort of got me excited when I made it, was that it's unconventional in that the front skirt piece wraps around and then there are two seams that run down the back of the skirt, and to create the shape at the hip there are two darts, and then you sew an invisible zip into one of those darts. It sounds complicated, but trust me, I thought the instructions were brilliant. I got it right first time, and I just really love the shape that it creates. I really love the fact that you haven't got side seams, but you have got shape. I do remember when I first cut all the pattern pieces out, I looked at the back piece and I thought, that's never going to fit me. And that did confuse me initially. But when I realised the front skirt piece was a lot bigger than it needed to be and it wrapped round to join at the back, I was like, oh, okay. And then, yeah, it's such a cool design feature. I love the Tessuti patterns. We've got their full range on our site. Highly recommend that one. It's beautiful. Now, we have the most gorgeous fabric that, and I think the thing about the Lois dress, because it's very simple, the lines are very simple, I think you can use an absolute wow factor fabric, which this one certainly is. I just absolutely love the colours in this. I think it's called pumpkin, teal and lavender. It just makes me so happy, this fabric does. It is a little bit on the sheer side though. It's a very silky, soft, almost like a satin feel fabric. So you would need to line it if you chose this fabric. So I do need to mention that, but I just think it's absolutely beautiful and I would love to see a Lois dress made in that. But if you wanted one that was a wow factor fabric and didn't need lining, you could use this alternative, which again is a lovely silky satin base cloth. I mean, the Lois dress is just perfect for like wedding season, special events, that sort of thing, especially in a wow factor fabric like this one. So that would be my other choice for that. And then the next pattern is New Look 6781. So this is a pair of very simple pull-on trousers, again a nice wide leg, elasticated at the waist, so they should be easy to fit, easy to sew, easy to wear. And then there's a sleeveless almost waistcoat or vest style top with large buttons and buttonholes down the front, and then it's got a couple of really cool, it's like creates like a trapeze shape. There's a couple of really cool seams that come from the armhole diagonally to the hem at the front towards the centre front, and then the bust darts come up out of that, which I think again is a really unusual design detail. And then those sort of angled seams are also echoed on the back, and that's what creates that sort of trapeze style shape of that waistcoat coat or vest. And I thought that would look fantastic sewn up as a cord set. And this beautiful, I can't remember what base cloth this fabric is, you'll have to have a look on the website. However, what I can remember is this is a high-end American designer that I'm not allowed to say who they are, but trust me, this is a very, very high-end fabric. So if you know, you know. But yes, I think that would look beautiful sewn up in that. Next up is the Amara vest, another Tessuti fabrics pattern. As I say, I love the Tessuti patterns. A very, very simple sew, this one, and probably not something I would pick out myself, but then actually when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, it does look really stylish over a white shirt. It's sort of like almost like what we would call a tank top in the UK, which is like a sleeveless jumper that you wear over shirts and things, but it's oversized, which makes it look more contemporary. Again, we've got that drop sleeve going on, so nice and easy. The other thing that makes it look really contemporary are the big patch pockets on the front, and it looks like it's got quite a wide neckline, and I think it's just something that's really nice to use for layering, easy to throw on, looks contemporary, but then with a shirt underneath it as well, looks quite put together and smart. So that was my next choice, and the fabric I thought you could use for that is designed for things like boiled wools, felted wools, pontes you can use, but I thought it did look nice on the pattern packet in a fabric. I was going to get one of the pontes because we've got lots of nice pontes on the site, but then I thought actually it does look nice in something with a bit of texture. And we've got this boiled wool in this classic grey colour. And as a bit of a magpie myself, I was like, oh yeah. And then I thought, actually, no, look at what I'm wearing today. I do like a grey jumper with a white shirt. I know some people might think it's a little bit boring, but it's a classic, isn't it? And I just thought, actually, that could work really well for that Amara vest and just pair it with a nice white shirt underneath. So that's my choice for that one. Plus you wouldn't need a lot of fabric either to create that. So using a wool or something like that, you know, it's not going to be that expensive because you're not going to need a massive amount of fabric for it. The next pattern is Simplicity 9376, a lovely pair of trousers which are, I suppose, similar in a way to the Rose Pants in that they've got a flat panel at the front and then they've got elasticated waistband at the back. And if you're not a fan of really wide leg trousers and you like a more tapered, fitted, straight leg, this is a great option for you. They've got pleats at the front, they've got the option to sew a crease down the front, you've got the option to sew an elasticated gathered hem or little turnips on the bottom or just a straightforward hem. There's even an option where they've put a drawstring cord to make it look more like a sweatpants or jogging bottom as we would call it in the UK. Pockets the same as the Rose Pants ones, and this has been really popular, and that I thought would look beautiful sewn up in our mulberry check fabric, which we have got more of this that we've ordered in. This is the one that Vicky used for one of the pairs of her Rose Pants, and they look absolutely gorgeous. So top tip is just try and remember to match your checks going across your trouser legs. That's always like a good thing to try and do if you can, because it'll give you that really professional finish. Vicky did a brilliant job of that. But yes, that is the fabric I would recommend for those. And then finally, we've got Simplicity 3108, which just, I really love this pattern. There's just something about it. It's very, I feel like it's very 90s. I feel like it's very chic. And just the sort of thing I probably would have looked at in the 90s, but as like a teenager, I wouldn't have worn, but would have thought, oh, you know, I probably would have quite liked to have worn it, but never really had anywhere to wear it. But it's a cord set. So you've got a lovely long line vest or waistcoat, button down, with princess seams down the front, pocket flaps, and the back has got princess seams as well, so it's really quite fitted, but it's quite roomy as it looks around the hips. You've got a beautiful skirt with a side zip and panelling, very similar to a Mimi G design that I made recently and I absolutely adore. Just a classic sort of flared skirt with a little waistband, and I have loved wearing that this autumn winter. And then you also get a pair of nice trousers included with a waistband and waist darts at the front and back, and I think creases down the front of the trouser leg as well. And I thought you could definitely make the skirt up in the fabric I used to make my Mimi G skirt recently, which I absolutely adore and have worn loads this autumn winter, paired with a chunky knit. It's been really cosy and warm and just given me another alternative to jeans as well as the trousers that I've been making. And then you could also make the waistcoat and the trousers in this beautiful gabardine fabrics. This is one of the other colours in our gabardine. It's a beautiful sort of Bordeaux, that sort of rich wine, red wine colour. And then you could probably mix and match those things as well. So potentially wear the skirt with the waistcoat, and then you could wear the waistcoat with the trousers as well. So that was my idea for that one. So I hope you've enjoyed that as much as I have. It's been really lovely taking a look at some of those patterns, reminding myself of all those gorgeous things that we've got, and looking at all the fabrics again. As I say, they're all on our website. The best way you can support me to keep making this content is by jumping on, taking a look and shopping our beautiful pattern and fabric range. If you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.